What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? Let me take this off. It's your boy, Light Luciferian Prince, coming at y'all once again. I'm back. I'm out of YouTube jail. Shout out to my cosplay. You feel me? Get your Sub-Zero mask. Is everybody out there looking like Sub-Zero? Everybody had a Mortal Kombat craze. It is what it is. Pretty dope piece, man. I usually keep it as a collector's item. But anywho, guess what, people? I'm out of YouTube jail. Now, a lot of people might ask me why I was in YouTube jail. Let me allow myself time to elaborate. Unfortunately, when you start talking about what I'm getting ready to start calling from this point forward, the V word, and we ain't talking about the GG neither. We're talking about vaccines. See, anything that goes against the quote-unquote expert disposition is often discredited or looked at as some sort of medical misinformation. So, to inform you further, I had one strike on my channel. Just one. One strike. Now, I had a strike from August 2017, and I appealed it that year, and they knocked it off. So now this is qualified as a strike, but this strike still expires. So I'm still in the clear. People, this is what I will say in furtherance of that effort, because as in anything, when it comes down to the truth, you would realize that a lot of stuff that we do say on social media and so forth, as long as it has to fit their narrative, is going to be deemed, quote unquote, misinformation. It is what it is. As I said before, if you want that scenario, it's your choice. If you don't, it is what it is. But I will never speak about that shit on my channel ever again, because I'll be damned if I put up, hours of work and labor and views and the like and subscribers, all for it to be torn down by what? It's not worth it. Now, in the advent of this happening, I will consult my inner conscience to try to alleviate this platform and put links into actually establishing a website and paying for a domain name, because unfortunately social media is becoming the cesspool for the indoctrinated. What once took people years and years of hard research now takes people 5 to 10 minutes. They swear to God that they are certified experts on anything. I've known that years ago, especially in the redemption movement, and I say redemption in the singular sense, not a group sense, that people had put disinformation out here on these channels and they've been misinforming y'all and disinforming y'all. But when it comes to simplifying the processes, or it comes to simplifying what it really is, people find that hard to grasp. So I will tell you, in the near future, if not so already, y'all gonna run into a lot of fraudulent people. It is what it is. Straight. Y'all gonna run into a lot of fraudulent people who are gonna use y'all up in your resources and basically take shit away from y'all. When people run into these type of people, they try to run into me to help me redeem themselves from these people. Let me tell you something. If you don't execute anything that you know as far as a beneficial consensus of knowledge in your own personal right, then you deserve to get fucked over. And if you're watching this around children, please escort them from your parameter. But I'm just being honest. You do. Some people want to try to make it seem as if they're down for the knowledge in an expedient sense to try to aid and assist them in something that's going on in their personal life. Let me tell you something. If that's the case, don't come to these places. Don't come to a critical area where you only have some mundane, basic ass understanding about where you want to actually elevate to. See, I'm turning up the heat on my channel. And I'm not going to sit here and bullshit with nobody no more, because I realize that when you try to pussyfoot around shit, people want to sit here and try to make it seem as if you're the bad guy. Well, color me bad. I don't give a fuck. But if it comes down to you actually getting the knowledge of what you have to get, then get it quick. Don't question the motherfucking integrity other than what I say. Straight. And if you have questions about what I say, do your research and do your information and then put it into application before you judge anything. See, I don't give a fuck what people say on these channels. There are a lot of people on these YouTube channels that are dis and misinformation agents. It's a lot of these people that contact y'all via email that are motherfucking agents. Straight up. They work for the agenda. You know what I'm saying? See, I don't get bought and sold by no fucking body. I don't give a fuck if you contact me and say, I'm going to give you this amount of money and so forth. Hey, listen, I can't walk in your shoes, okay? But I will tell you that these processes are not cheap neither. So you have to also understand that if you want to really regain some sort of control over your commercial modicum in your personal life, you better get ready to buckle down and do some serious work. Other than that, if you're not really willing to put the groundwork in, shut this shit off. Save yourself some time. Because only you and only you will have the illusion of freedom. Only you will have the illusion of a conscientiousness about what is the higher processes for redemption. That's an illusion. You ain't putting it into practice. Am I speaking to somebody here? I hope I am. You know, if it's your first time viewing this channel, like and subscribe. See, I'm not going to sit here on my channel and try to deliver the so-called sociable manifest ideology of how people would like to take what I have to say. No, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. Y'all are in a state of fucking warfare. Straight up. And when you're in a state of warfare and this is not been declared to the public as a whole, but you exist in a state of domestic warfare by historical documents and people who believe that they own and actually subjugate you to their codes and regulations to make a profit off you. If you don't believe that shit, so be the fuck it. That's what it is. Y'all sitting here in your mind and in your imagination believing in any instance that they can kill and get away with it, called justifiable homicide. It's written by a man's law. Then they turn around, steal land, call it eminent domain. Turn around, legislate rules, statutes, codes, and regulations against you, and you still sit here and knuckle under and still cry in pity to the bastion of fuckery on a day-to-day basis. This Asian hate bill. Why don't we have a bill? Write your own. It's called Bill of Self. Right? Bill of Self. The inalienable rights you've never written down on paper. Y'all sit here and wait for a constitution and rights so-called promulgated by men who don't look like you nor have your self-interest in hand to tell you what you can and can't do. Wake the fuck up, Israel. Wake the fuck up to the body of people who are actually sitting here in the world and ain't listening. They took your language, they took your culture, they took your land, they took your title, they took your mores, they took your byways, they took anything, your folkways, and they turned you into something totally different. Are you going to sit here and still let them get away with this shit again? What y'all need, 400 more years? Do y'all need 400 more years? I'm waiting on somebody to tell me the truth. Do you need 400 more years for these people to do this shit to you again? History tells you that there is no such thing as equivocant peace in a hostile environment. All you people that's waving around the United States flag, let me tell you something. That's a flag of hostility. All you people talking about y'all Moors, you set the Moors flag adjacent to the United States Incorporated flag. That means that's a corporation. So everybody who likes to refer to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, you're in hostile territory. How the fuck you want to have friendship with somebody who's constantly at hostile at war? Throw that shit out. Great historical reference to a document, but it's not worth its weight in paper. Nonetheless, salt. They're not friends. They stole the land under corporate charter to do commerce. So turn your affairs the right way. Straight. Don't ever expect a lawless authority to give you a semblance of law. Let me say this again. Don't ever expect a lawless authority to give a semblance of law. That's why they call it under color of law. We'll let you brothers and sisters go up in there talking about Constitution this, diversity of citizenship. Don't you think they know that shit? Diversity of citizenship is not paperwork, it's evident. Why? Because when we go out in the world, we interface with people who are different than our species. You don't got to put that shit on no black and white piece of paper. Now, if you would like to clarify it for them for purposes of clarification, that's fine. Great. But they already know who you are. They know more about you than you do. And for all you fucking gatekeepers out there trying to hide the truth from my indigenous brothers and sisters and matrons and patrons about the land that they inherited and live on, yeah, this is our shit. I don't give a fuck what book you bring from the English dictionary, encyclopedic reference. I don't give a fuck. This is indigenous land to those who are melanated. Straight. Ain't no motherfucking Pacific Islanders came over here. That was later. That was way later. Here's the thing I want people to understand. How is it that you could convince a native people through colonization, such as in the cases of South Africa? These are the native people who are actually forced and employed to work the mines and land in which they were actually native of. How the fuck is that any different than the United States? But they convinced y'all that we came over here on some rickety ass boats. And told y'all that we voyaged months and months. And millions of us came over on ships, but they didn't come over in those numbers. They were yet to be generations of people who were considered to be born. Let's not get that fucked up. Slavery in the United States still exists. Yes, it's a fucking fundamental fact. Proven. Reread the 13th Amendment, as I said in previous videos. It still exists. Involuntary servitude shall not exist in the United States, said exception in which a person shall have been duly convicted of a crime. It still exists. It's not done away with. Reparations means that you, of people who are indigenous culture, who don't know who the fuck you are, who still keep walking around with titles as Negro, Black, and Colored, African American, have to take it into consideration that you don't even realize that you're employed on a land in which was actually your birthright. Now, I know a lot of people have this whole grab ass approach. Well, when we're going to get back our land? First off, you are your own land. Why don't you touch this in an instance? Claim that first. And then claim everything in which you touch. And then claim and secure everything in which you procure. And then claim and secure everything outside of that. And then you'll have your land back. It's that easy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think a motherfucker's supposed to wave a magic wand and just give you all the formula? No, wake up. Reparations will never be given to you because you already have those things to prepare your actual original constitution. It's your land. See, I used to think of it years ago, like straight up, indoctrination. Everyone says they're Cherokee. Now, notice that of people I know, I should say, were born on the eastern seaboard. But there are plenty and plenty and plenty of tribes. Hundreds that existed. Not all of them look like Pacific Islanders. That's in the west because that was called free territory. So they can migrate there, and actually by migration, not immigration, migration could actually claim that land. Why do you think that's the dominant populace of this day? Over there, to the west. To the Midwest, it was once called, as we often quote in our language, we say the Valley of Indecision. It's often called that for a reason because it's the valley of indecision, where the white settlers didn't know where they wanted to move to the west because it was a territorial plain that was inhabited by people who didn't look like them. And they were afraid that they would diminish in population. And then you head back toward the east, where individuals who seceded from the Union wouldn't give them no longer would give them the protection. So who did you run into? We have been duped as a population of people. Real shit. We've been duped to believe them that we have to acquiesce unto their legal system when we already had a system set up on our own. But for rights, privileges, and benefits, we will definitely try to give our economic energy and our infrastructure to a fucking harbinger and a vagabond, also known as the Caucasian. Straight. Now, I know a lot of people might disagree with what I'm saying. I think racist is real. These people came and signed a documentation that said specifically in the preamble, we the people. They said we. It didn't say to the future generations of people. It didn't say to the future generations of people who would like to preserve the quality of which we wish to establish. It simply said, we, the people. Present and possessive tense. Meaning, all of us Eurocentric Caucasoids who were signing this paper are securing to ourselves and our posterity the blessings of liberty. Are y'all out of your fucking mind? You don't run this motherfucker. A piece of paper that governs no more than 10 miles square runs this shit. All you people paying federal income tax, you're out of your goddamn minds. All you people paying income tax on your personal wages, you're out of your goddamn mind. Why do I say this? It's private because it's personal wages. That's profit based upon so-called social equity of you taking your personal energy and contracting it out for a specific price. See, people brag about, I make $13 an hour. I make $20 an hour. You can make $100 an hour if you felt like it. If you get out of that construct, you can make $200 an hour if you get out of that construct. But no, the employment system has set it upon a scale of wages to be given back as tribute to the contracting parties who established this corporation. So all you employees and all you people who really realize that this system is based upon what? Fiat currency? You're still working for fucking free. So I don't give a fuck if you make $28 a month. I don't give a fuck if you make $30,000 a minute. Don't matter. It's all going back into the corporate structured system. And until you understand what fractional reserve banking is, until you understand the auspices behind the treachery and the deceit, until you understand and understand how the court system will continuously rob you, you are vagabonds on a land which you own, but you have no rights or title to. Would you like for me to say that again? I need not to. I say this because I say it out of adoration for people to get a consensus and a grip on what has been predisposed to you. You're not a nigger. You're not a foreigner. You weren't descendants of slaves. Why do you think Congress has been so hesitant to actually even appropriate a stimulus plan, a reparation plan, or incorporate it into stimulus? It's yours. That meant that their whole historical basis and their prowess would have to be reversed based upon one decision. Hey, people, we never brought you aboard ships. You're already here. We don't have to cut you a check. That means that we have to expatriate ourselves and go the fuck back where we came from. Wake up, people. This is your land. How the fuck do you live in a land that you fear to exercise your divine right to say it's your land? See, when people say in a context of social media. Go back to where you came from. See, we have a home. We have a region. We have a realm. We have an identity outside of the cultural bounds of colonialism and imperialism. We have what we call roots. The same people who would tell you to go back to where you came from, where would they go? Every individual on the face of this plane, we distinctly call Earth, is from somewhere. Except the person who's trying to quote unquote call the shots. They ain't got nowhere to go. Your first time viewing this channel, please like and subscribe. It's your first time viewing this channel, make sure you actually hit that all notifications so every time I post a video, you'll be informed. So all my old subscribers, if you wish to receive services, if you wish to receive anything that I and creatively can provide myself, I will definitely do that. To the others in between, do not contact me until you feel like you're ready. Do not confuse me with your uncertainty. To the agents, don't fucking contact me whatsoever. I do not consent, nor do I oblige. But for those who wish to actually grasp the greater and higher sense of the reality in which they live, contact me. Serious inquiries only. I say this as a voice amongst the wilderness. People, wake the fuck up. You've been dicked around. You've been screwed. And these people are going to play with you continuously. Why do you think that they want critical race theory taken out of the public education system? Because they know that future generations of people have actually come to an acknowledgement of the cover-ups that they've actually initiated in history. And then they turned around and they wanted to try to revert it or try to recondition it to prepackage it to the future generations. Y'all better start teaching people what the fuck it is. And Memorial Day is actually Decorations Day by those veterans who are actually considered recognized in South Carolina this same day. So when people say motherfuckers that are black don't ever want to celebrate anything, they want to celebrate anything, they don't know no better. Yeah, we started this shit. All to know it. We were only protecting the land in which we were and are still to this day entitled to. I don't care if they call it US of A. That's 10 miles square in DC. The land you step on, you better put a flag around it and post it and claim it for your own because it's your land. You don't believe that shit? Oh well. It's your land. Peace. Light. Love. Y'all stay safe out there. Like I said on my channel, I ain't speaking about no more V's anymore. I'm going to call it Zoltan. Like I said, it is what it is, people. Stay tuned. Because the next part is going to really split your wig.